none of us make it out alive. It's just how close to the finish line do you get? Vaping is probably the hardest thing I've ever tried to quit. What is it about religion and touching kids? Let's get into today's podcast, episode 160.
Here we go.
What is happening, TwT fans? It is so good to be back. It is April 27th, 2023, and I'm so glad to have you all here with me. And before I get into anything, let me start off by saying thank you. Thank you to all my subscribers out there. You're what keeps me coming back here week after week. So thank you. Keep sharing, rating, reviewing, and giving thumbs up for all the videos and the guests. And of course, if you're new to the podcast, well, you need to be clicking that subscribe button. All right, go ahead and click that. This is free for you. It's not free for me to do. So please be clicking that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. Share, 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 share. If you want to get more involved with the podcast, maybe you have a story that needs to be heard. All right, well, send it on over to talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. That's talkinwithtopher@gmail.com. And of course, TwT is everywhere you get your podcast. Whether you're listening or watching, you can find it everywhere. So why don't you go ahead and click the link right here. That's right. Click this Linktree link. It's going to give you access to everything TwT just by clicking the Linktree, which is in the description below the video. And now it's in a shareable link. So go ahead, share that link with all your friends, spread it around, and go follow and subscribe. Let's get into today's episode. All right, what's happening, everybody? What is happening? I am so glad to be here. It has been a crazy week, and I'm not just talking about the temperature. I'm talking about life in general and how it throws you, well, it throws you curveballs. Man. I had everything all set up. I was supposed to be recording episode 161 right now, and I'm not. It's just, it's a bummer, and it's nothing I can do. It was out of my hands, but I am excited for when the guest that I was supposed to have on does come on. You can't prepare for everything. Life is going to throw you curveballs. It's difficult. It's hard, and, you know, I think that's what my parents were trying to prepare me for when I was a kid. They were trying to prepare me for when shit doesn't go right, when things don't go your way, because not everything's gonna go your way. If there's anything that I know at my age today, is that the hardest thing all of us do is live. That's it. It is the hardest thing to do today, right? Not all of us make it out alive. Actually, well, let me rephrase that. None of us make it out alive. It's just how close to the finish line do you get, right? How close do you get? How close can you get? And I'm hoping to make it pretty close to that finish line, but the way people are driving today, the amount of accidents and everything else going on, you know, it's tough. It's tough out there. So you gotta be cautious. Sometimes you have to be aggressive, and sometimes you just have to be ready for something not to go your way, because it doesn't get any easier as you get older. It gets more difficult, just like life in general. You know, as you get closer to that finish line, I don't know, that Grim Reaper is right behind you going, "Oop, don't trip, don't fall. Almost got you. All right, maybe next time I'll be back," right? But yeah, I've just been dealing with that and figuring this all out, and so here I am. You know, it's a Saturday for me. I just got out of work, and we are going to see our new niece. You know, that game of life. You know, it keeps continuing. I also got to be honest about something is that everybody keeps saying, and by everybody, I mean the government and the fucking paid off news corporations that are, just have advertisers in their pockets. So they're all fucking full of shit anyways. By the way, did you see that New York Times got their blue check mark taken away? I fucking think that's great. Fuck you and your blue check mark anyways. But there's going to be more old people than young people. I think they predicted in the next decade. Everything, like I said, I think I said it before, everything seems to happen in a decade's distance. But I don't know if that is true or if they're doing another type of scare tactic to try and get us to have more kids. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't. Wait a minute. I'm not saying that you need to go have more kids. What I'm saying is that just in my wife's family alone, there's so many kids. So many kids. So it's crazy. It's crazy. So they're sitting there telling everybody, hey, you need to have more kids. We're not going to have enough kids. We're not going to make it. I don't believe that to be true at all. Now, are we having more complications today? Are we having miscarriages? Are we having stillborn deaths? Are we having people who can't get pregnant? Yeah, we have all of that all the time. Is it more than it ever has been? I do believe that the studies are showing that it is, right? But I don't see it, Out of everybody on my side of the family and my wife's side of the family, they're all having kids except for us. We were the only two that couldn't do it. But yeah, it's crazy. I think it's another scare tactic. I think they're just fucking with us all the time now. I can't believe a thing they say. I really have a hard time. Don't you? I really wish I could talk to you. Don't you believe that that's all they're doing today? Did you see that the Dalai Lama, right? And I think I can connect this in a moment. The Dalai Lama touched a little boy in the privates, then reached him for a kiss, or did he put the kid's hand in his privates, and then he went for a kiss, and then he told the kid to suck on his tongue? Now, I don't know if I can find the video to implement it, past tense, whatever, but if I can, I will put it up. But this is absolutely, completely disgusting. And I was thinking about it because not only does the news lie to us, right? All the time. Fear, 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 fear. Lies, 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 lies. Religion also lies. Now, I'm not going to be the person that says you shouldn't believe. You shouldn't get involved with your religion, your church, your whatever you're doing. What I'm saying is, do you ever think for one moment, right? Do you ever think about how disgusting it is? How disgusting the news is? How disgusting our government is? How disgusting politicians are? How disgusting religion is? How disgusting all of the leaders of religion are, right? Now, I can't say much. I don't know much about the Pope, but priests, the Dalai Lama, Judas priests, I think that's what they are. They might have a name too, and I apologize if I don't know it, but I don't. What is up with the fucking touching of kids? Why? What is it? That was the most disgusting thing I've ever seen, right? And I've seen some pretty gross shit. I talked about how Biden, was kissing little kids and all this, and I put up all those clips when me and Michael Firth and Elijah Weber were doing our conspiracy podcast. But I saw this, and I went, what the hell is going on here? Right? So let me get this straight. Priests touch little boys, right? They're doing whatever with those little boys, all the choir boys and stuff like that. They're messing around with them. And then when they get caught, they get shifted around and it gets stuffed under the rug and they wind up in the Vatican or whatever that has its own fucking giant wall up. and they have their own laws, and they're exempt from all the pedophilia. Yeah, yep, absolutely true, absolutely disgusting, which is why I don't practice anymore. It's not that I don't believe in something, it's that I don't believe in our religions as they are today. I think our religions as they are today is another lie and money grab. And all they do is divide and keep us segregated. And I just don't believe in that. And then you have Jewish Baptists. I'm not sure what their priests are called. Maybe they are Baptists. But anyways, when they give a circumcision, now I don't know if this is true as of today, but from what I've read and what I've looked into, for this particular reason that I'm speaking of, they would give a circumcision and then they would suck on the dick. Huh? I'm like, what do you mean? Well, they use their saliva to help stop the bleeding. Oh, well, it does stop the bleeding 100%. Yeah, you. That's why when you cut yourself, your body tells you to put it in your mouth, because the saliva has something in it that's supposed to slow down the bleeding and help it start clotting. How true this is, I'm not sure, but because anytime I do it, right, anytime I do that, I find I bleed more, because you're adding water to the bleeding, which thins out the blood, which can cause you to bleed more. So I don't really believe in this tactic. I believe in pressure. You add pressure to the cut or wound, and that helps slow down the bleeding, allowing it to then clot, is what I've always known. So that's what I tend to do now. I add pressure to it. I don't put it in my mouth because I think that creates more bleeding. So because of all of that, I'm like, well, that can't be true. Wouldn't it be better to just take like a cloth and wrap it around the dick and just hold it so that the bleeding will slow down, and then you can bandage it up for the baby and you don't have to be putting your mouth on the baby's dick? Right? Like, why is that okay? Oh, well, they've always done it. It's just part of our religion. It's how we do it. But it doesn't have to be anymore, right? Because we have science. We have other ways of doing things. So you don't have to put the mouth on the baby dick, right? You don't have to. You're choosing to. Nobody else sees a problem with this? Okay, I do. And then you go to the Dalai Lama doing this to that child, which showed me that they're no better. What is it about religion and touching kids? And why is it to them? It's got to be only to them. Because to me, seeing this from the outside, I'm like, oh, that's a pedophile. But other people are like, no, it's the Dalai Lama. Huh? No, but we just saw what he did. That's a pedophile. No, that's the Dalai Lama. Okay, but this isn't okay, right? But he's the Dalai Lama. Okay, I guess. I guess if you drink enough of the fucking Kool-Aid, it's okay. I don't agree. I highly, highly, highly disagree with all of this. Slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. That's slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com. And if you put in promo code TOPHER before you check out, you're going to get an extra 10% off your entire purchase. All right, you don't know how to spell it, it's right here at the bottom of the screen, or you can go into the description below the video where every link is available, and go ahead and that link and go to slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com today. These new kid tees are awesome. Money Hungry Gorilla? What? Look at that print. Yes, everybody. I can't get enough of their clothing. It's just amazing. And as you can see, the new spring line is out. They have new pillow covers. Don't you want these? Slow Down multi-use zippered pouch with the patch on it. Slow Down Foo Dog pillow cover. Slow Down Tiger pillow cover. Of course, you got the Snake and Coil machine matching set. So you're going to get the socks. You're going to get pins. You're going to get the hat. You're going to get the t-shirt. You can buy the shirt by itself. You can buy the pin. You can buy the hat. Of course, the whole set's $50. So you're going to save some money. I mean, it's $50 for the hat and the shirt alone. Just amazing. I mean, this stuff just goes on. And there's more coming all the time. All the time, people. So go to slowdownclothing.bigcartel.com today. That's right now. Go and put everything in your cart. And before you check out, make sure you put in promo code TOPHER to get an extra 10% off your entire purchase. And let TWT save you some money today. New York, and now the New York Times, well, no more blue check mark for you. But you got people with 600 followers that are buying their blue check marks now, and they're doing, those are just fake. Those are fake check marks. They're all fakes. Anybody can buy it now. Anybody. You know, they were supposed to go away as of April 1st. Nobody's check mark has gone away. And I know this because I listen to Breaking Points. I listen to Crystal and Sauter, and I follow both of them on Twitter. Not that I use Twitter a ton, but I use Twitter enough so that I can just keep up with the chaos that Elon keeps doing, which I think is absolutely hilarious. If this app even makes it into 2025, I'll be shocked. Twitter is just chaos. I mean, it's always been a cesspool, but now it's chaos because you don't know who's real, who's fake, because now they're just buying them. So you can buy it, I can buy it, anybody can buy it. So you can have 15 accounts, you can buy blue check marks for all of them. There's only one of you, which means the other 14 are fake. So, I mean, I don't understand the point of a check mark anymore. But I am glad that the New York Times got theirs taken away. And so far, they're the only ones. But man, all this fakeness, you know? And speaking of fakeness, what is going on with AI? All right, right? There's a full podcast that just popped up in my feed of Joe Rogan with some guests. Now, Joe Rogan does not look like Joe Rogan, right? They changed the Joe Rogan logo. They didn't change the intro music. And then the other guy that he was talking to did not look like him. I don't remember which one it was, but they called it episode 001. It's like some cyborg Rogan, a spinning wheel. They changed a bunch of stuff, right? And Rogan retweeted this and said, man, we are in for like a rude awakening or something, or this is just the tip of the iceberg, something like that. Basically saying, holy crap, look at what this can do now, right? And then I saw another article where people were worried about ChatGPT 5. Well, ChatGPT 5 supposedly is not anywhere close to being released. We just got 4. So they said there's nothing to worry about with 5 on the way. I don't know if that's true, right? I mean, how can it be? How? Have you seen the difference between ChatGPT 3.5 and ChatGPT 4.0? People have actually used, I think, 4.0 for illnesses. They're literally typing out their symptoms, like as if it was a Google search. Chat is looking it up and saying, oh, this is what it is. There's been a couple people that have brought the results to their doctors that had misdiagnosed them. And they go, oh, wow, Let's check that. They checked that, and chat was right. So there's so many different layers to this. I'm afraid of AI getting to a point where we basically do not know the difference between reality and fictitious shit. And I'm also excited because what if that thing can tell you what's wrong with you better than your doctor can? Wouldn't that be nice? You're like, oh, I got a headache and a twitchy eye and my arm goes numb. And they're like, you have a blood clot in your neck. Oh, go to the hospital immediately or something. Like, you got going, you know what I mean? Like, why do my hands just give out and drop things? Because that's my problem. I got trigger finger, but the doctors say that there's nothing wrong with you. Really? There's nothing wrong with me? That's why I just randomly drop shit all the time? That's why from time to time my hand just locks itself up? Come on, dude. You missed something. You're missing something. And maybe chat won't be missing something. Maybe chat will get it right. But I saw that fake Rogan podcast, and I was just like, I didn't realize that Rogan had retweeted it. I thought it was just in my feed. I also saw it on YouTube, and I saw it on Twitter as well. And you know what I did? I said I didn't want to see it. I don't know if I made the right decision now. Maybe I should have checked it out. But I guess, the way that they set it up is almost like a podcast. It's just very dry. They did add some ums and ahs, and that made it a little bit more real. But there's like no emotion in it, right? It's kind of flat. There's no happy, sad. It's just question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. I mean, what's it going to be by version 5? I think it's going to be fucking insane. I think it's going to be crazy. And I think we're going to get to a point where we're just never going to be able to tell what the hell is actually going on. Which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We already don't know what's going on half of the time. Because we got people manipulating people. What happens when a machine smarter than people starts manipulating people? I don't know. But I hope I get to see some of it, and deal with some of it and experience it. And now I'm on officially day 2 of no vaping. And it is the hardest thing I've ever done. Oh my God. It was easy at work. I made it so that I wasn't bringing my vape to work. I wasn't having it in the car. And then when I went to family gatherings, I wasn't taking it with me either. Just trying to live by the pouches. Rogue pouches. Yeah. And I'm doing all this, and then the only place I was vaping was here at home. And 2 days ago, I finished the vape. I had no juice, drained the battery, and the next thing I know, I'm throwing it in the trash. Took all my vapes, threw them all in the fucking trash because you can't sell them online. You can't do anything with them. They're literally fucking garbage today. So I threw them all away because I was like, even if I go back to vaping, because there's always a thought of that. I'm an addict, right? But man, the last 48 hours has been insane in my house. I'm constantly looking for my vape right now. I'm still looking for it right now. I'm like, oh, where is it? It's not here. It's in the trash. Stupid. And I don't remember, but maybe I do vaguely, because it has been 9 years since I touched a cigarette. But maybe when I started vaping, maybe I was doing the same thing about a cigarette, right? Because it didn't taste the same. Like, I would have a cigarette with my morning coffee, and I eventually had to be like, no, you're having your vape with your morning coffee. You've got to break these awful habits of tying these things together. And so because of that, I've been reflecting on what it was like to go from cigarettes to vaping, because I'm just having a hard time with this. And if you're like, well, why are you having such a hard time? Nicotine is probably one of the most addictive chemicals and one of the hardest chemicals to get off of. I had an easier time with alcohol than I have ever with nicotine. No, they don't tell you this. They don't tell you at all. They're not going to tell you, right? It's just the way it is. So now I'm going through my motions, and when I'm at work or in my car, it's all fine. It's all good. But then I'm sitting there watching TV, and I'm like, where's my vape? Or I wake up in the morning for my coffee. Where's my vape? I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude, when is it going to end? You know what I mean? I'm already like freaking out and having trouble. And, you know, the nicotine content in vapes today, I hate disposables, right? I think I've said it 100 times. I'm going to keep saying it because I don't think enough people understand what 5% means. It means 50 milligrams. Well, what is 50 milligrams? The most amount of nicotine you can get in the United States of America. And yes, I know there's 55 and 60 in some areas, but most stop at 50. And most 55s and 60s are illegal in almost all states. And they are on the verge of making it illegal in all states. Side note, Juul just had to pay a $654 million fine, probably for all the advertising they were doing to young kids when they first got up and running, but I think that just got settled. I believe it was $654 million they have to pay out, which is fine. I mean, I think Philip Morris owns half of it now, so they're not going to have a problem paying that off. But you should stay away from Juul as well. They have one extra chemical that no vape juice and or disposable ever puts in it, and I don't know what that's doing to you. But if you're on disposables, good for you. Stick with them. Stay off the cigarettes. If you have never smoked or vaped, don't fucking start. Don't. It's a waste of time. Don't do it. But if you're like me and you're trying to get away from this shit, my friend Tyler, who you've seen on the podcast a couple times, who makes the intro music and everything else, shout out Tyler Crane, is coming up with my new intro music, which I'm very excited for. So I don't know when that's going to be, but it is being made. So that's nice. Only took him a year, but it's fine. Everything takes time. That's why I say nothing ever goes the way you want it to, right? Got to be prepared for it. But intro music should be coming soon. He's been off of the vape now for 3 months. He said his first week was brutal. He said the first month wasn't too bad by the end of it. And now he's almost completely separated from the vape. So I'm looking up to him for the encouragement to keep this going. But it's pretty cool how you're never done improving yourself. You're never done going on to the next thing. It's always something to better myself. It's always something more that I can be doing to be a better person overall. And by getting vaping out of the way, I'm going to have to clean my windows and wash on my walls and do all this stuff and get all the vape residue all off of everything. And then I'm never going to have to do it again. Never going to have to do it. Marijuana does not leave that much shit all over my walls, right? It doesn't even get close to it. But vaping is just, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It turns this brown, filmy grossness, and it's not like tar, and sometimes it's white, but it's still a film of shit that you have to clean off. You ever vape in your car and then you can't see out your fucking windshield? Yeah, it's because you keep blowing it towards the friggin' windshield. So the whole inside of your window is covered in vape residue. So I'm happy that I'm not going to have to worry about those things. I'm also happy that, like, this is finally getting behind me. The pouches are amazing. They do such a good job, and I'm overloading. Like today I got a little shaky because I was really craving the vape, obviously. So I ate maybe one too many. No. I used one too many pouches, and I got a little shaky from it. But that's what happens when you have too much nicotine in general. You get kind of shaky, your nerves are a little, and your hair sticks up, at least for me. Those are kind of the side effects, and that's how I tell, I've taken too much nicotine. It's time to dial it back. Now I talked with him yesterday, get some advice from him. I'm going back to when I quit smoking and going back and trying to dig into the memory banks of how I eventually just got smoking out of my life, smoking cigarettes. And I'm going to try and utilize all those tools together to get this beaten, to get this addiction beaten, so that I'm only using nicotine in its rawest form, which is it's synthetic, man-made, no tobacco, pouches that don't ruin my gums, don't give me mouth cancer, and it's just a way better way to take in the nicotine. Tyler uses the gum, which I highly recommend if you enjoy chewing gum. I do not, so I rather just suck on a pouch. But it has just been a crazy couple days, and I think that being an addict of anything makes it harder to give up the thing, right? Because we make it part of our entity, right? It's part of us. So it's not just this thing that we are doing. It's literally tied into everything that we do throughout our day-to-day lives, which is what makes it so much harder to quit, or to put off to the side, or to let go of, or to stop thinking of. And that's why I totally and absolutely changed my habits with things as I'm letting go of them. But yeah, nicotine, man, is one of the hardest things I've ever tried to give up. The hardest. So if anybody else is doing this today, or you've thought about doing it, I'll tell you, I'll break it down real quick. All right. If you're smoking cigarettes, go to a disposable. Once you've gotten rid of the cigarettes, go to a device. Put a lower nicotine in the device. Then as time goes on, lower your nicotine, lower your nicotine, lower your nicotine. If you want to get off nicotine 100%, then go all the way down to 0 and keep vaping, and then maybe you can just get that obnoxious thing out of your life after that. And then if you want to continue using nicotine, go to pouches, go to gum, go to lozenges. That way, you don't have to get rid of nicotine, but you can get rid of inhaling it, which is literally the worst way to be doing things. I do believe that vaping is healthier than smoking. Is it healthy? No. It's not healthy. Nothing that we do is healthy, okay? I can't say that. Nothing that, how do I put this? All enjoyable things are probably bad for us. That's foods, smoking, cigars, drinking, anything that like brings us joy is usually bad for us, right? The good stuff doesn't have all the endorphins and everything else firing off, right? It just doesn't, right? I enjoy my meals, but they're not as much fun as pasta and meatballs and all the fucking garbage. That makes me feel like I'm getting hugged. Well, same thing goes with the pouches, These are the healthier alternative. They're just not as much fun. I love fucking smoking. And when you're 9, it's really hard to let go of it when you're 43. That's why I tell everybody, don't fucking be me. Don't. Be better than me. Start now. Do it now. Tyler's 27. He just got off of it 3 months ago. Good for him. It's fucking awesome. You know, I just met somebody recently that's 8 months sober off of alcohol. Fucking awesome. Keep it up out there. Keep it up. That day-to-day grind is all you can do to get through. It's all you can do. Just keep it one day at a time. Because I'm telling you right now, the weeks add up. The months add up. The years add up. But you can only get there one day at a time. I'm going to have to cut this podcast short today. And I want to thank everybody for subscribing, watching. Thank all the new subscribers. I appreciate all of you out there. I got to go and see my niece now. So even though I have to get out of here, again, thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Keep it up. All the new subscribers, welcome. If you're new to the podcast, remember to click that damn subscribe button, people. All right? That's what helps the podcast grow. That's what keeps me coming back here week after week. So go ahead and do that. It's free for you. It's not free to do. So click that subscribe button. And if you want to tell your story, go ahead and send your email over to talkinwithtopher@gmail.com, the official email of the podcast. And of course, Talking with Topher is everywhere you get your podcast at. All you got to do is click the link tree. It's in the description below the video. It has access to all the social media, all the episodes on every platform, and now it's all right there in a nice shareable link. So go ahead, click it, share it, subscribe it, follow, and again, I thank everybody. I hope you have an amazing Thursday. I hope you have an enjoyable weekend. Be kind to one another. And as always, I will talk to you later.